Yes, yes, blues! Oh, blinking at how are we at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning? How are we feeling? Because genuinely, maybe not much better way to start my day. We were Reijnders, here we go. It was confirmed last night that we were closing in. I said that last night that was essentially your here we go without saying it. And now we have had the here we go while saying it. It's official. Reijnders will, well, it's not official, but Reijnders is going to be a Man City player. There is no doubt about that. Here is the official tweet for it now. I'll show you it now. Big ups to everyone in the stream so early in the morning and on such a late notice too. I only scheduled this not long ago, so make sure to hit the likes if you are enjoying it. Here we are. Tijani Reijnders to Manchester City. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place for the Dutch midfielder to join MCFC. Deal almost done yesterday, as revealed. Now being finalised. Package worth around 70 million. Personal terms sealed days ago. It's just the formal steps to follow. Genuinely, it's just putting the stamp on it now. You know, we're essentially waiting for confirmation from the club now, whenever that will be. He's obviously got to do his medical. I believe he's on international duty too, so he's probably going to be announced within the next few days, you know. Don't bank on it being like today or tomorrow or even the next day, but next few days. But what we can say is that Reijnders will be a Manchester City player for the Club World Cup as well. You know, we're not going to have to wait till like August to see this guy. We're going to have to wait less than 2 weeks, if you can wait that long. But yeah, it's absolutely huge news. We're going to have a look at it all right now. But here it is on Instagram too. Here we go. City agreed deal to sign Reijnders, package worth 70 million, add-ons included, now in place. Long-term deal for Reijnders as he's prepared to complete the formal steps in the next days. Again, just a huge signing for us, isn't it? You know, I genuinely think, okay, we all know the importance of getting that Shirky deal over the line. We all know the Aitnari deal is important, and of course Livramento when we get round to it. I actually think Reijnders might be the most important of the lot. I think we need this kind of midfielder. Okay. Now then, I haven't watched Reijnders every week. I don't watch him every week. But what I can say is that, judging from what I hear about him, you know, the fact that he's compared as like a Gundo regen. At last, yes, big ups, hit the likes everyone, says Alpha Varka. Yes, Adam. Yes, Alf. Big ups to everyone. We've got 7 people in the stream, huge. You know, big ups to everyone who's tuning in on such like early notice, I guess, by the way. 9 a.m. is mental for a here we go. What does Fabrizio think he's doing? But I genuinely think this could be like the most important signing of the summer for us. I think we absolutely need a midfielder like Reijnders. You know, anyone that can do that job like Gundo was able to do back in his heyday, I guess, in his prime. You know, anyone that can do that is someone worth applauding. Now that he can play all along the midfield, the 10, the middle, and even the CDM area, so he can help out Rodri, he can help out in that Gundo space, in the box-to-box area, and he can even fill out at 10 if injuries are that bad. Now then, he is more than likely going to be utilised at an 8. I'd be shocked to see this guy like playing left-back and whatnot. It's absolutely huge, and it's such a good signing. I love it. Okay, he's 26 and he's turning 27. You know, we've signed someone who's in those years, who's ready for the big move. You know, not that AC Milan isn't a big move. You know, AC Milan are a very big team, but ready to take that step in their career where they think that they're ready to really try something, really try and go for the win each time. Big up for getting to the here we go, Speedy. Yes, Peasy. Who we got? Peasy, I haven't seen you here before, bro. So big ups. Moment I saw it, I was like, okay, I need to go live. If it was on any other day of this week, I wouldn't be live right now. I'd be in work. It just happened to be on Wednesday, June 4th. So thank you, Fabrizio, for leaving it to now. But yeah, huge news on Reijnders. I'm so happy about this, and everything about him is just screaming a banging signing for me. You know, over 20 goal contributions for AC Milan, playing at the 8, by the way. You know, truly great. Didn't even get the bulk of his goals and assists at the CAM, by the way. He got the bulk of them playing in the 8 and even as a defensive midfielder. You know, and look, we're not shy to seeing defensive midfielders get goals for us either. You know, Rodri, he had a season for us last season where he got over 20 goal contributions, hence a big reason he won the Ballon d'Or. You know, and so numbers in the midfield, someone that can imagine Rodri and Reijnders pull in about 30 goal contributions, just those two. You know, I suspect the load will be kind of split between them, but just imagine that. 30 goal contributions just between two of your starting midfielders. You know, and it could be more. You know, they've both had seasons where they've gotten over 20. This could be more 40. You know, depending on how well they do, maybe 50. But I'm going too far there. Big goal contributions from the midfield now. You know, it's not all down to Haaland. It's not all down to Marmoush. Okay, and depending on whether he's at his level again, it's not all down to Foden either. Okay, contributions that lower down in the pitch are absolutely huge. You know, the fact that like Kova was like our second or like our third top scorer and he had like 8 goals. Well, these guys being Reijnders and Rodri, they pull in over 20 goal contributions. So it's a big deal, to be honest. It's a big deal. You know, he got 16 goals playing in these positions just last season, Reijnders. So it can only be complimented. Now then, key passes are a strong point for him. Finishing too, you know, shows that he's clinical. Concentration as well. Always got his head screwed on. Never really having a slip up, it seems. You know, always he's in the moment. He's in the zone. He's always ready for what's coming. Now then, weaknesses, aerial duels and tackling. Look, every player's got weaknesses. Okay, I suspect these are getting worked on. You know, every player that joins a club, the club probably knows what their weaknesses are, and so we're definitely going to work on those. We're definitely going to help him out to try and keep him at that big level that he wants to be at, and make him even better. His style of play, counter-attacking, does not dive into tackles. You know, so smart of his challenges. It seems. Just look at here as well. You know, always getting like above a 6 apart from one game where they lost, but you know, 7.55 there, 6.47, 6.29, 7.46, 7.66, 6.2, 6.9. Never seems to be the reason why his team is lagging behind or losing. You know, he's just got midfielder of the season, genuinely the best midfielder in this area this season just gone. So, you know, we are literally taking the best midfielder in Serie A and we're putting him into our team. You know, it's only smart. You know, you're taking the best players and you're putting them in your squad. You know, that's how it should be done. That's how we should be doing it, if you ask me. You know, that's how a big team operates. Look at Bayern Munich, say, in the Bundesliga. I know they're not getting Florian Wirtz, but like most other German talents in that league end up with them. You know, they make sure that that they are bringing in all the German talents they can. So I like that we're taking the best players available and we're bringing them to us. I know it's not necessarily the same as Bayern. You know, it's not like we're taking Wharton from Palace and bringing him to City. You know, an English midfielder. But you get what I'm saying. You know, we're signing the best available. Now then, we'll move over to transfer market now, because they give a little bit more in terms of what I'm after. So, Reijnders, here we go. There we go. So, according to this, he got 20 goal contributions, 15 goals, 5 assists, which is big. He's only been on the up since he joined AC Milan as well, you know, only going up and up in terms of his level and his quality. We mentioned this yesterday, but he's played so many minutes for AC Milan, so crucial that he hardly misses a game, In fact, we'll check it out here to see how many games he missed out. I don't know why my computer's been so slow, but it is. Big up to everyone who's tuning in, by the way. This early for news is bonkers, so I really do appreciate everyone that is tuning in right now. But we go here, specifically looking at AC Milan stuff here. How many games did he actually miss out on entirely? He missed out entirely on one due to a red card, but if we go down here, he was in the squad 37 times and he started 36 of them and got subbed in once. And look how many 90 minutes he's been completing, by the way. Just look at that. Absolutely look at that. It seems like the first game of the season was the game that he got subbed in, by the way. First game of the season. And most other games, he's completed 90 minutes. He's completed 90 minutes in almost every game since the 2nd of November. Very rarely not. He's had 80 minutes completed somewhere down there, 69 minutes. But again, just always completing the bulk of the minutes. Even in the Italian Cup, squad 5 times, started all 5. Very rarely didn't complete the game as well. Completed 3 matches, played 87 minutes in one, 65 in the other. Big ups to 8 people tuning in. Make sure to hit the likes if you haven't already. Every like is much appreciated. Always helps. Again, Supercoppa Italia. Started both games. Completed the bulk of the minutes too. To the Champions League. Started all 10. Finished the bulk of them. Finished the first 6. 6 games. And finished over 75 minutes of the remaining 4. And now we'll have a look at his injury history. It's always important. And one single injury in his entire career, and it was only 1 game missed. It's not. We don't even know what the injury was. That's how nothing it was. That's how small it was. So one small injury in his entire career. Now then, we do have to be careful. He's just had a huge season of minutes, to be fair, so we should probably just watch that a little bit. He's just completed an absolute ton of minutes with AC Milan this season. I didn't even read his exact minutes. 4,500 minutes just with AC Milan this season. That is bonkers. 4,500 minutes. Here we go, says Samir in the chat. Big ups to you, bro. I'm going to see how much 4,500 minutes is, exactly in per game, by the way, because I'm genuinely curious. Let's just see. So, in total, 45.91 over 90-minute games, he completed a whole total of 51 matches worth. 51 matches of 90 minutes. That is crazy, That is absolutely wild. To put that into perspective, we'll have a look at someone like Rodri's numbers now. Now, I know this... Oh, blinking out, that's not Rodri. No, I know Rodri and Reijnders, of course, aren't the same player, but they are going to be playing a lot of minutes together. I would have thought that they're going to be that double pivot. So yeah, not this season. Worried about Rodri when I have a look at this season. So again, when it comes to numbers, 24 goal contributions, and Rodri didn't even complete that amount of minutes, and he played the Club World Cup too. Rodri didn't even complete 4,500 minutes in that season, where he played an absolute bunch of minutes for Man City. So, look, for me... Oh, blinking out. For me, we have still got to be careful. Last thing we want is a similar situation where Reijnders gets a bad injury because of the volume of his minutes. But look, the rate he's going, he's looking good. 4,300 minutes compared to 4,500. They're going to be playing a lot of minutes together, but they can also rotate with each other too, which is important. The fact that Reijnders can play in that CDM role is good. I feel so much more confident with Reijnders helping out in that pivot if Rodri's unavailable than the Gundo Bernardo pivot we've seen various times this season, for example. It's such an upgrade. Such an upgrade. From going Gundo Bernardo to Nico Gonzalez and to Tijani Reijnders potentially. Would you rest him in the Club World Cup? That's a good question. That's a very good question, Samir. I would probably rest him in we'll have a look at City's Club World Cup games real quick. Man City. Have a look at our Club World Cup games very quickly. So I would probably rest him in these two. Maybe sub him off. Maybe sub him on during one of them. Or you could even start him in this one. Okay, but I would definitely play him in the Juventus game. Juventus is a good team. We're going to need to have our. I want to see a full strength 11 against Juventus. I want to see what this team is capable of with the signings we're making and whatever vision Pep's got in mind for this season. I want to see him in this game, and if he can get subbed on during these, that would be good too. I'd love to see that. I would make sure to rest him. I definitely wouldn't be making him complete 90 minutes over 90 minutes over 90 minutes, but yeah, I'd definitely look to rest him, to be honest with you. Now then, one more area I want to have a look at before we shape this guy up in our 11 is FootMob. Tijani Reijnders, here we go. So, in the Serie A, he's had 10 goals, 4 assists. Other comps, he's gotten about 20. And again, last like 10 games here. Doesn't seem like he's at fault for any of the losses. We're going to try and find one of his best games of the season, which seems to be the 8.6 versus Como. So if we can have a quick look at that. Big ups, by the way, to everyone tuning in. I know I've said it a lot, but this amount of people tuning in so early on a day, it's 9:27. It's a weekday. A lot of people have got work, so I do appreciate that everyone's tuning in now. So yeah, big ups to everyone who's tuning in there. Really do appreciate that. So let's go here. Again, man of the match, levels above the rest of his team. It looks like Pulisic, the only guy coming close. A goal and an assist. Hit the woodwork out of one time, out of his 3 shots. So again, coming quite close to scoring. Could have had 2 goals, it seems, had he been a smidge luckier. Accurate passes, 21 out of 24. Pretty solid. Chances created, 1. That was probably his assist. XG of 0.5. XG of goals of shots on target of 0.5. X assists, 0.07. And he managed to get 2 goal contributions. 1 shot on target, went in. Big chances missed, 1. Hit the woodwork once. 36 touches in the opposition box, 3. Passes into the final third, 3. 4 accurate long balls, that's good. Imagine pinging balls over the top to Haaland. That is something that he could very well have in his locker, it seems. Only lost the ball once. Tackles 1 out of his 3, 1 clearance, 1 headed clearance, 1 interception, 9 defensive actions, 3 recoveries, 2 times he's dribbled past, 3 duels won, 7 duels lost. And that is his stats for this game. Let's go try and find another top game from him. Again, though, whenever he seems to have a good game, he just seems to absolutely reel in the numbers. 9.1 versus Empoli. He scored 2 goals in this game. Here he is again, levels above the rest of his team. Pulisic again, the only guy coming close to him. Again, big ups to everyone who's tuning in the chat right now. See Madrid game. what? Oh wait, did AC Milan play Madrid? Oh yeah, they did. They did. Let's go check that out. We'll skip past Empoli for now. I might come back. Let's see if I can find that. Real Madrid. Oh, when would it have been? When did they win? 21st of March. 21st of March. Alright, I've gone too far back. 21st of March. Oh, too far. Wait, okay. Blinking out, it says November. Oh man, got it completely wrong. I've got to go back to November now. Here we go. November. Blinking out. 5th November. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place here. 5th of November, here we go. 8.2, again, very solid rating. Doesn't seem like he got man of the match, but scored an all-important goal, really putting the game to bed. 2-1 in the 70th minute. Means 3-1 would have really calmed down the nerves a bit. At the Bernabeu too, by the way. No easy feat. Vinicius Jr. got man of the match this game, but out everyone on his team looks like he got tied highest rating. No, mine got a rating higher than him, but still one of the top performers in his squad. Against Real Madrid here at the Bernabeu. I just want to add that this is at the Bernabeu. It's no easy feat. 1 goal, 2 shots, 2 chances created, 0.5 XG, 0.5 of goals on target, 0.07, 61 touches, a lot more than that one game we looked at. Touched in the opposition box 1, 2, both of his shots on target as well, which is good. 5 accurate long balls. Long balls seem to be a real strength of this guy, by the way. We just saw in the other game that he had 4 accurate long balls, had 5 this game. Let's scroll down a bit more. 1 clearance, 2 defensive actions, 1 recovery, got dribbled past 3 times, 2 duels won, 4 duels lost, and he got fouled once as well. Again, solid stats all around. If we go here, we can check out where he ranked amongst top performers. He was rated 4th. He would have been about tied with Rafael Leao, it seems to complete the 90 minutes as well, to be fair to him. So, yeah, seems like he had a real top game here. Only came before Minen and Vinicius Jr. So, look, again, real good look for him there. Very, very, very good look. Now then, we're going to have a look at one more thing before we round off this big stream. Again, let me know your thoughts on the Reijnders deal. Do you think this is good? Have the stats I've shown you impressed you? So, I'm going to just get this right now. Yeah, make sure to let me know your thoughts on the deal. What would you rate it out of 10 as well? 70 million. Not necessarily a small fee. But, hey, not a bad fee if you ask me. In my opinion, this is just a cracking deal all around. But I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. Maybe I'm yapping. So, alright then, I can almost start doing this now. 4, 2, 3, 1. There we go. Now then, here we go. How much GA do you expect from next season? Big ups, Newer Dark. Big ups. I don't think we've had you in this chat before. But by the way, everyone, big ups to everyone who's tuning in. Make sure to hit the likes, by the way. Every single like is absolutely huge for the channel. and make sure to subscribe if you're enjoying the stream as well. And because trust me, there is more content coming, especially with this mental transfer window. Perfect signing, in my opinion, really needed him. I do agree with that. But in terms of GA, I'm thinking he at least gets 15. Okay, he got about 21, 22 with AC Milan last season. Okay, so you might be thinking, so you think he's going to drop off a bit? Not necessarily drop off. I just think him and Rodri are going to share that load a bit more. I think you're going to see those two. I think Rodri's going to probably get about 15 to 20 as well. Okay, I think he's definitely getting well over 10. I think he's going to be closer to 20 than he will to 10. So, that's where I kind of stand with that. Now then, let's do this 11, okay? With the squad we've got right now, so not including Shirky, not including Livramento, okay? Let's just do the players that are to our disposal right now. Okay, I'm not going to include Kyle Walker like a right back, for example, because he's obviously not with us. So let's just throw Nunez in here. So at the moment he's kind of our starting fullback. Centre-back pairing, we're going to go for Ruben Diaz and Akanji. Okay, I don't want Akanji at centre-back next season, but we'll put him there for the sake of this. We'll put Vardiol in at left-back. We're going to leave that pivot for a minute. At the 10, we're going to go for... Why not? Throw Marmouche in it. No De Bruyne now, sadly. We'll throw Savinho here. Foden here. And of course, Haaland up here. So there you go. That is the team that'll be playing around our pivot now. Now I'm going to throw in Reijnders. I'm going to throw him in here. I think he is going to operate in this area now, and there's no guarantee that we don't see him change position at City. So, I'll change position. What am I saying? He's going to be playing in this kind of area. Now, I do think Reijnders is going to be probably playing a bit more like that. Okay, again, Reijnders are box to box, so he's going to be operating. He's probably going to be playing a bit more forward when we're on the ball. And of course, when we're not on the ball, he's going to help out Rodri, tighten things up at the back, and help out where necessary. Also, what number do we think he's going to get? Because he's not going to keep 14, because that's Nico Gonzalez's number now. I can't put question marks or anything on it, sadly. I would if I could. But at the moment, we're just going to put a blank shirt there, So, yeah, what number do we think he'll get? I'd love to see Vardio, Diaz, Kusanov in possession. I'm hoping for a back line like that too. To be honest, I want this to kind of be our back line for next season. Now then, I'm not putting Kusanov in it, okay? Don't. I'm not like Pep, who's doesn't want to see him. I do love Kusanov, and I want to see more of him. But for now, I won't include him. Because I think this is probably going to be our starting lineup. Although I'm more than happy to see what's his name, Kusanov in our lineup eventually in the season. I think we will see him at times. I think this very well could be Kusanov. But what I will say is, this back line is our future, really. He'll get 8 probably. Yeah, depending on if Kova goes, because I don't think City would take the number off Kova. Doesn't really strike me as that. Reijnders a bit more of a left-sided midfielder. To be fair, I think you're actually right there. I think you're actually right. Because I even look at the Real Madrid game and he is operating on the left. So to be fair, I think you are about right. So yeah, we could very well see Rodri and Reijnders swap around here. We pop him more there. Put Rodri there. I maybe put Rodri there because, I don't know. I just kind of expect him to be there. Big ups, 10 people in the stream. Make sure to hit the likes. Really do appreciate it, guys. But yeah, this is very well the lineup we could see. Now, it's not the only lineup we could see. It's not the only partnership that you could very well be seeing with with our boy, our new man in the squad. There's also Nico Gonzalez, who they've not put as a Man City player on this yet. Nico Gonzalez there. You could also potentially see Kova there, potentially, depending on what happens with him. Yeah, Kova could slip in there. Gundo, depending on what happens with him, could slip in there. And blinking at guys. Ian Bernardo, Nico Riley, Rico Lewis. There's a lot of options. Those latter options are less likely to happen, because I think it would have to be crazy for those final options to actually be starting with Reijnders. But at the end of the day, I think Reijnders is an absolutely huge signing. We're just going to have a look at the post once more. Here it is. Tijani Reijnders to Manchester City. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place with Dutch midfielder. Deal almost done since yesterday as revealed. Now being finalised. Package worth around 70 million. Personal terms sealed days ago. Formal steps to follow. Now then, no updates since that. To be fair, it's fresh. Yeah, but we're going to go over to City Extra real quick. Maybe they've got something for us. Apparently, the actual initial fee is £46 million, by the way. It seems. So, £46 million for a player of this guy's quality. Just for reference, we signed Calvin Phillips for a similar price. David Ornstein reveals that the actual fixed fee is €55 million, which is about 46 million quid, plus add-ons, which will bring it to about 70, depending on how it goes. The 26-year-old midfielder signs a 5-year deal. Dutch international will need to undergo his medical before completing the move officially. So there you go. What are the add-ons? Probably something about winning a Premier League in there, to be honest. Probably amount of minutes, but honestly, lads, I'm absolutely fine with whatever add-ons, because at the end of the day, whatever the add-ons are, AC Milan deemed them good enough, and now he's going to be here. Although it would be funny if Tijani Reijnders needed to complete 30 games in a season, and then we only ever play him for 29, just so we can avoid paying some of the add-ons like we have with Kusanov. That would be something, wouldn't it? Who would play of this importance? Yeah, it's €70 million. Yeah, and that's the latest on Tijani Reijnders. And the only other thing that we will need to talk about, I intend to do a video on him as I do usually with new signings. So make sure to tune in for that. That will drop when he's officially announced. But the only other thing we can do now is wait for him to be officially holding up the shirt, where I will obviously live stream that. Now then, guys, I wouldn't write off another Here We Go today, so I could very well be back later on today. I think I will be back later on today, because the fact that this stream's happened so early means so much more transfer news can happen. So I think I'm probably going to be live again today, please. So big up to everyone who's tuned in. A stream at 9 a.m. is bonkers, it's just gone 20 to 10 now, guys, so thank you for giving me a PCO morning, whether you just woke up or if you're in work. I do really appreciate it. And yeah, big up to everyone who's tuning in. We've had over 10 people tuning in at certain points today. So yeah, I really do appreciate the support. Now then, of course, more than likely back later. Hit the likes and subscribe to connect as Alpha Barker. That is my final message to you guys. We're on the push for 1.5k. It's a huge milestone on the path to 2k. So make sure to hit the like if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe too, because again, it just helps slowly climb. And if you don't want to miss the next Here We Go stream, the next transfer news stream, or when I do upload that video, make sure to turn on the notification bell. You'll be notified. Big ups to you all, Blues. I appreciate the support as per usual, and I can't wait to talk about Man City again later on. Big ups.